So, I guess I'm going to keep the conversation going. Because Alan, and I'm not going to even try to deal with the rest of that name, made another video. Am I proud of myself for making you make a 20-minute video? No, I don't care much about length. I'm very happy that you explained your points in this one though. Gives me something to work with. Because yes, this time his video was almost 20 minutes. Now that's the amount of time you can explain something in. So I guess I can go over it. And I'm really happy to hear that the missing link was just a mistake. We all make mistakes, and it removes my fear a bit of worrying that you are a scumbag. Don't worry, the worry of you being a scumbag isn't personal. Everyone can be a scumbag, and I worry with everyone that they will be a scumbag. Yes, I probably have trust issues. Now of course, this is a reply. To a reply, to a reply, to a reaction to my first video attacking somebody else's points. This is getting somewhat hard to follow. And Alan intersperses his video with clips from mine. It's a style I really like. It also means that his video is very bad to do the interspersing with. Or I would have to grey out whenever a clip of mine is needed, and I'm kind of not in the mood for that type of editing work at the moment. So I'll just try to summarize his points before I talk about them. But before I start, can I bring one thing up? Why is it when I watch your video, the next video it wants to play is a Winx Club movie? I mean, the other suggestions I understand. They are like your videos or the videos I watch. But why a Winx Club movie? Can't really be me. Last time I've watched any of that show would be over 8 years ago on TV, when I watched cartoons, but there weren't any good cartoons in those days. Anything to do with you, Alan? Oh, and if you think that the name Phoenix has a relation to Winx, it doesn't. Just starting with how it's said. Phoenix and Winx. And I came up with the name Phoenix before that show was even aired here. He starts his video with congratulating me on making a normal commentary length video. Because yes, it was only 12 minutes. Now did that video feel good? No. Can't have a video feeling good and explain a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. It's like that thing with products. Good, fast and cheap. You can only have two. With video, I think the three things are in-depth, watchable and short. In-depth is generally the most important to me. And then I try to make it as watchable as I can. In my response to you, I went for short instead. This resulted in it sounding bad. There was no time in which I took a breath. And it resulted in me sounding kind of triggered in the whole video. Normal people take a breath once in a while. I did that too of course, but I cut it all out. Which resulted in me constantly talking in a fast manner, which sounds triggered as fuck. And of course I've been tired as hell for a couple weeks now as well, which also doesn't bloody help. You said the time thing was just a joke. Allow me to explain why I went into so much detail about that time. It was one of the 3 points I could really pick up. And it was at the beginning and end of your video. Generally, the opening and ending of something work really well as a summary. Or at least that's the lazy trick I learned at school because of my dyslexia. That's generally where you'll find the most important stuff. And something that returns in a 10-minute video is generally pretty important. And I appreciate that you give me advice like, the sweet spot for a reaction video is 10 minutes. But I generally won't do a lot with it. Would it be better for my channel if I did? Sure. Same with the outro rattle. And you didn't need to take it as hard. For you, the time thing was just a joke. For me it was the outro bit. And I know it works, I know an end rattle really works. People are easy to trick. If you tell them to check something out enough, they will generally do it. I just don't care much for that. Neither manipulation, or as you put it, always on the grind. As this YouTube bollocks is just something I do for fun. Which also returns in my outro. It's not effective at all, but I enjoy it. You said that I claimed that you didn't get the point of mine and the dude's video. No, you only missed the point of my video. His video is obvious. PC culture shouldn't be a thing. My point was, no argument this dude makes is good, let me explain why. And you shouldn't feel so attacked with that. You're not stupid for missing the point of a video. But you did miss it. Or at least, you didn't address my point. You addressed my perceived opinion. The opinion I tell you not to care about. Which leads you to the question, why are you making this video in the first place? Simple. I explained that in that section in my reaction. No one should care about what I think. Why I think it could matter to people. That's why I explained the why so much. And of course I have an opinion. Everyone has an opinion on anything they ever hear about. That doesn't mean they have a stance. If I say gezellig, you have some form of opinion on that now. Even though you probably don't even know what it means. But it doesn't mean you have a stance on gezelligheid. I have an opinion on PC culture. I don't have enough knowledge to take a stance on the issue. And I'm not saying his opinion or stance is wrong. I'm not taking the opposite stance. I'm saying that these reasons aren't why he's right. These reasons suck, and aren't good supports for his stance. That doesn't mean his stance is wrong. These reasons just don't support it. I might be going on a lot about it, but it's the cornerstone of the video. And maybe you don't believe that's possible. Maybe you don't think you can attack an argument for points without being against the point. But you can. For instance, I agree with Lord Luxie that Fallout 4 is a good game. But I could debate him very easily on whether or not it's the best Fallout game so far. I could easily debate him on the points that the lack of crash to desktops and better shooting mechanics make up for the lack of role-playing possibilities. Disagreeing with points doesn't mean disagreeing with conclusions. If someone says there is no God, I'll agree with him. If he says that he just knows in his heart there is no God, I'll disagree with that argument, while still agreeing with his conclusion. Attacking reasons isn't the same as disagreeing on the conclusion. Of course, you generally agree with the points of people that came to the same conclusion, but it's not by definition. And that's why the lack of referencing my video is a problem. My video is about those arguments. My video doesn't have a conclusion like, and that's why PC culture is a good thing. Like I said, the video was about debunking his arguments, not his stance. I'm not pro or anti-PC. I have an opinion on it, of course, but I don't have a stance. Only debunking his arguments. I don't have a problem with being anti-PC. I've seen some reasons for being against it too. But his arguments are what I had such a problem with. All of them were bad. But I had the biggest personal problem with the stupid section. I'm dyslexic. That means that my genes resulted in parts of my brain being less active. People know that dyslexic people aren't less smart. They just need more time for tests and stuff. Reading and writing takes longer. You simply need extra time to get the same amount of work done if it involves languages. This is known. There are systems in place. But this dude doesn't seem to like that. He just wants to call all of us stupid. That's what I have a problem with. All of his points were either I want to be mean without repercussion and without justification at best, and going against scientific knowledge at worst. I would like to be able to argue that this lecture isn't just being stupid, without being labeled as a PC warrior. And not arguing against my arguments in a video about my arguments is a problem. And I wasn't saying that there wasn't a point to be made with the culture differences. All I said is that you didn't express it. Yes, you said a lot. You used a lot of words. I didn't hear a point. You said that the video makes perfect sense to an American. Great. How can that be a point when addressing me? Maybe it makes perfect sense to an American or somebody living in the US. But you didn't explain why that is. Therefore I, a non-American who has never been in the US and has no wish to ever do so, can't find the point. If you need knowledge of what's around you to understand the point, then you know I can't get it. Therefore this area was pointless to me. That's why I go over the why so much. I try not to be localized. I try not to use stuff only a Dutch or European would get. Of course, I'll still use stuff I think is like that everywhere. For instance, I thought everyone had winter dips. But apparently that's also possibly a depression me thing. That's simply a lack of knowledge. You don't always know what's normal or common. But when I know something isn't normal or common in a large part of the world, I don't use it, or I explain as best I can. I hope that by doing that, anyone from anywhere can understand my videos. Maybe you had an amazing point for people with the knowledge and the culture of an American. I can't judge that. And without that knowledge, you didn't have a point. And you said I contradicted myself all the time. Can you tell me where? Just in the comments is fine for that. And I'm serious in that. I'm not saying that they weren't there. But if they are, it would be a mistake I would really like to address. The point of the video was to explain why these points are bad. Constant contradictions would be a really big problem. Or is it just a point that I attack shit points against PC culture, so I must be pro PC culture, but I clarify that I'm not. And you say that your video was much higher effort because mine was too. Funny thing, my response wasn't high effort. Sure, it was scripted, but I wrote the script in like 3 pretty short sessions. Audio editing was a pain as I wanted it to be as short as possible, so I cut out as much of the blank spaces as possible. Which was also the reason it sounded so bad. You really want those blank spaces just as time to breathe. But that still wasn't that much work. Annoying and unnatural, but not much. And the editing of the video was a joke. The original video was a lot harder. Many more, way longer scripting moments. Audio and video recording at the same time, which also had to be correctly synced up. And the video editing was also a lot of work. As I wanted to play the original video, since I didn't want to say what that dude said, and place myself between them. With possibly some additional stuff as well. That video was quite a lot of work. My reply really wasn't. But I'm happy you like my reply more. And you just dismissed my last point. Let me just address the quick remarks you did make. Of course, language takes time to change. The rate of which it changes isn't consistent though. When something happens, it can change a lot faster. And this something can be a lot of things. It can be a new invention, making contact with new people who have a different language, their social change, etc. And of course, people equating the word female with the word nigger is stupid. There are stupid people everywhere. Every group, every community, every idea, every culture. Idiots are everywhere. There are idiots in the PC camp, there are idiots in the anti-PC camp, and there are idiots in the no stance camp. That's why I don't care about what people think. That's why I care about why they think it. And if it's just a couple idiots ridiculing you for how you say stuff, why would you care? This might be Phoenix the uncaring about what people think of him talking, but why would you care if somebody mocks you? If you know you are in the right, you can debate them, or just ignore them. You mainly dismissed my last point because you said I twisted your words. If you truly believe that I tried to twist your arguments around, no, I'm sorry. That wasn't what I was actively doing. I don't do stuff like Just for instance, placing a clip where, say, you pull everything out of your ass, which you then defend, and not play the part where I say I have no problem with it. No, not an attack at all. Just jokingly mocking you. But more seriously though, I don't have an interest in twisting what you said. Why would I want to make you look stupid? It can only hurt you. I have no interest in that. I aimed to address your points in a way that was also somewhat fun for people to listen to. It was my honest interpretation of your video and your points. I'll be the first to say that I can be wrong, but I never actively twisted anything. And you even gave a reason why you repeat yourself. It's to get rude to people. Repeating yourself won't help in any way in getting through to people. You can try to come at a point in many different ways, but that wouldn't be repeating yourself. That would be tackling an issue in many different directions. Repeating yourself does nothing. If people don't get it the first time, why would they get it the third? Same problem I had with book reports, by the way. After number 4, what's number 5 going to do? Or number fucking 12? I really need to start working on that video as well. And let's do something fun. Let's do an Alan outro. Remember to like, subscribe and ring the bell. I'm also on Twitter at Phoenix909 YouTube. And on Twitch at Phoenix909. And I'll probably be streaming a lot in 2 weeks. Never again. It feels so stilted and sellouty. Let's just keep it to proper Phoenix outro, shall we? This has been Phoenix, saying farewell.